Hello, Cherie Hansen here. I would love it if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also you can go to cheriehansen.com to join the 75,000 people who have already subscribed to my blog. I'm taking a big risk today and I'm shooting this on a deck that is 44 degrees Celsius, and you can see the beautiful hum of white light everywhere. But I was thinking, well, what if we just sat in the white light and took that risk? I'm reading to you from Thich Nhat Hanh's Communicating with Others in the Art of Communication. And we have gone through the 6 mantras and just reviewed how they can help us in our communication. Getting back into the concept of bringing compassionate communication to your relationships. And just a note from me, your relationships are every time you stand in front of another person. The postman, the person on the sidewalk, the clerk behind the counter. These are all social contracts that we are signing up for. And we need to be very mindful that there is no trivial social contact with another person. That isn't even true in the slightest amount. Every single contact is one that brings power to you and to them to heal the suffering you are each experiencing. So bringing compassionate communication to your relationships. When you are able to use the 6 mantras with your loved ones, you will find that you are building a kind of home together. By listening compassionately to yourself, you have started to come home to yourself. With compassionate communication, you can help your loved ones come home to themselves. Your loved ones are also looking for home, for some warmth, for some refuge. Once you have a home, you can help the other person. You are confident because you know how to connect with yourself and make a home for yourself. Your confidence can inspire others to do the same. They may find a home in you and then lean on that to build a home in themselves. You don't need an iPhone to do this. You need your eyes. And your ears and your mouth to listen with compassion and to speak mindfully. When your loved one is able to go back to himself or herself, then your relationship becomes a real relationship, because both of you feel at home in yourselves. Don't be afraid to give your loved ones the space they need to listen to themselves. When you have enough space to listen to your own self, when you come together, you find a home in each other as well as in yourselves. There is a communal home for you to share. This becomes the base of all your relationships. If you want to help society, your community, your country, you have to have a home base. When you have a true home in yourself and in your home, you have happiness, safety, and fulfillment. Then you are in a position to go out and help create a more compassionate and loving community. And the next chapter is when difficulties arise. Many of us suffer because our communication with other people is difficult. At work, for example, we often feel we have tried everything and there is no way to reach our colleagues. This is often true in families as well. We feel our parents, our siblings, or our children are too stuck in their ways. We think no real communication is possible. Yet there are many ways to reconcile and to create openings for more compassionate communication. Communicating when you're angry. One reason you have trouble communicating with others is that you often try to communicate when we are angry. We suffer, and we don't want to be alone with all that suffering. We believe that we are angry because of something the others did, and we want them to know it. Anger has urgency to it. We want to let others know right away what the problem with them is. But when we're angry, we aren't lucid. Acting while angry can lead to a lot of suffering and can escalate the situation. That doesn't mean we should suppress our anger. We shouldn't pretend that everything is fine when it isn't. It's possible to feel and engage with our anger in a healthy and a compassionate manner. When anger is there, we should handle it with tenderness because our anger is us. We shouldn't do violence to our anger. Doing violence to our anger is doing violence to ourselves. Mindfully breathing helps us recognize our anger and treat it tenderly. Mindful energy embraces the energy of anger. Anger is strong energy, and we may need to sit with it for a while. When you cook potatoes, you have to maintain the fire underneath it for at least 15 or 20 minutes. The same is true of the practice of mindfulness when it embraces anger. It takes a while because the anger takes a while to cook. After you have sat with mindful awareness and calmed your anger, you can look deeply into the anger to see its nature and where it has come from. What is the root of that anger? Anger may come from a wrong perception or habitual way of responding to events that doesn't reflect our deepest values. In popular psychotherapy, we sometimes are encouraged to express our anger physically to get it out of our system. We're advised to allow our anger to manifest by shouting in a scheduled place or hitting an inanimate substitute such as a pillow. I haven't found this practice to be useful in transforming the roots of anger. Think of a wood stove. If something goes wrong, you can open the window so the smoke goes out. But if the stove still has that defect, the smoke will come again. You have to fix the wood stove. Yelling and punching your pillow can be just rehearsing and nourishing anger and making it stronger and not getting it out of your system. You have to get genuinely in touch with your anger in order to heal. While you're hitting your pillow, you're not really getting in touch with your anger in a way that helps your growing understanding. You're not even getting in touch with the pillow, because if you were in touch with the pillow, you would know that it's only a pillow. Suppressing anger can be dangerous. It will explode if it is ignored. Anger, like all strong emotions, wants to express itself. So how do we handle it? The best thing is to go home to ourselves and take care of our anger. We can remember the first mantra and be there for ourselves and take care of our anger. We return to ourselves and connect body and mind. Return to your practice of mindful breathing and mindful walking. To be present means to be mindful, and then use that mindfulness to recognize, embrace, and look deeply at our strong emotions. And the man is such a genius. I have seen so many people try to do a bypass for their anger. They're so afraid of going into the body and tracing the root of the anger and the trigger of the anger. For me personally, I was afraid that my anger would kill me. It would hurt me because I saw the people around me as I was growing up destroying themselves with their own anger and hurting others. But this is a new way. This is a way of taking responsibility for the flames that come with anger and reminding ourselves we are human. We are in a human body. We have a human experience. And one of the emotions that is very human is anger. But the difficulty is, what do I do with it? And the art of communicating explains very clearly. You breathe in, you breathe out, you do mindful walking, you pay attention to your anger, you feel it, all of it, and you work on dissolving it, not ignoring it. And you take responsibility for that anger. So the process is, I feel anger. Why do I feel anger? Where is it in my body? And right now, I'm going to sit with it. I'm going to look at it. I'm going to feel it so that I can release it. So wouldn't it be great if we all knew this? And as you flare into anger, you go to a place of mindfulness, go into your body, and simply work on changing your mind. And then we can be face to face doing what we're meant to do, which is lowering the suffering of others. Thank you. I hope you come on my YouTube channel and subscribe.